As I mentioned at the start of the show, the Coalition today decided to oppose Labor's misinformation laws. And joining me now is Shadow Minister for Communications, David Coleman. David, welcome to the program. Why have you made this decision? And are you concerned that already Australians are subject to too much censorship online?
Oh, Shari, look, we made a very clear decision today that this bill is just utterly unacceptable. I mean, you know, this bill, it should be torn up into little pieces and thrown in the bin. It is absolutely outrageous, some of the material that's in this bill. It is so broadly defined that, you know, misinformation could capture so many statements by Australians about politics and so many other things that it's just a complete non-starter. It's quite extraordinary that the government has put this forward, that, you know, Minister Michelle Rowland has put her name to this. I think is frankly somewhat alarming. Look, it's a terrible bill, and absolutely our focus is very much on opposing it.
So at the start of the show, I spoke about if an individual is accused of misinformation, they could be hauled into ACMA, and if they don't show up, they could be fined $8,000 every single day. Is this right? Talk me through this, and how is this appropriate?
Yeah, look, I don't think it is right, Shari. So basically, under the bill, ACMA thinks a person has information about misinformation or disinformation on the digital platform that's relevant to ACMA's role. So that's could be pretty much anyone that ACMA thinks has that sort of information. It can require documents from that person. It can require that person to appear before it at a time and place of ACMA's choosing. And if the person doesn't appear, every day the fine is $8,000. And again, it's just so broad. And in a democracy like Australia, Shari, safeguards around these issues are so important. And I don't think that the average Australian would think that was appropriate. And the other thing, Shari, there's a crucial point. Any authorised content from the Albanese government cannot be misinformation under this bill. But if you criticise the Albanese government, that can be misinformation.
Well, this brings me... Well, no, I wanted to ask you about, because often there's political scare campaigns that, both political parties would say is misinformation. We've heard the government describe members of the No campaign accusing the No campaign of misinformation. So, under the legislation, could this be captured?
Yes, that sort of thing could be captured, because it's basically content which is misleading and capable of causing serious harm. It doesn't have to be content which is deliberately misleading, so the person could make that statement in good faith. There are some exceptions, like for government content, for authorised content in elections and so on. But if a politician said something at a community meeting or just put something on someone's Facebook page or whatever, yeah, that could be captured, absolutely. And if you're the digital platforms who are facing these big fines, what are you going to do? You're going to say, well, we better censor a lot of material, because the last thing we want is to get a massive fine from ACMA. And so when the government says ACMA's not directly censoring information, I mean, it's not really relevant, because ACMA is in control here, and the platforms will not want to get those fines, and so they will self-censor.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely extraordinary. David Coleman, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.